Hey everyone, Charting Man Dan from ChartGuys.com. You know, behind every single video that we put out every single day, there's a wonderful community of traders that we want to invite you to be a part of. Try the free 7-day trial and gain access to our live market broadcasts every morning and afternoon, interact with hundreds of like-minded traders, or take part in one of our dedicated chat rooms, each led by an analyst that's there to answer your questions in real time. Our trial is risk-free with absolutely no commitment or credit card required to experience the TCG community. For those looking for a head start in technical analysis, check out our entries and exits course in the link below in the description. Get up to speed with the fundamentals of TCG technical analysis and experience over 5 hours of great community-driven trading education. PCLN NVDA TSLA Netflix CMG daily weekly time frame. So PCLN support is holding here at 1878. But we're struggling at 1900, and 4 out of the last 5 days we have rejected from this level with an inability to close over it. Bulls have to close over 1900, then we're looking at 1909, 1916, and then the all-time high up at 1927. So the bulls are still within striking distance. We are still seeing a strong correlation to SPY. And as of this point, if you see the SPY video I just did, we're watching a key support level and a double top at the all-time high. If we get that new all-time high, obviously the bulls will be in favor here and we'll be looking to head back up towards that level of the 1927 all-time high. If SPY breaks its higher low pattern, the bulls need to be cautious because we will likely see a break of 1878. So the correlation is not completely direct to SPY, meaning it's obviously not tick for tick. It's just fairly, I should say, it's very tight. It's very clearly correlated. There's just some minor differences, like this big upper wick. We saw more bullish action back on Tuesday than we did in SPY. So that resistance level that stands up there is different than the resistance level of SPY. But all in all, bulls are still holding on just fine. Exponential support holding here and looking to see if whether or not, really the question at this point in my mind is, are we going to see an equilibrium pattern here on the weekly with our high, low, lower high, and then we'll consolidate and form a higher low and see this range tighten up? Or are we going to see the bulls just see continuation as we have in the past when we have bounced off the 8-period exponential? Every single time on the weekly we bounce off that level, we see a new all-time high fairly quickly. So watching to see if that's going to remain to be the pattern. NVDA, astounding bull for NVDA. That is extremely strong. The move that we've seen in the past month is really impressive. And we saw a gap up open, we saw some profit taking in the morning, and then the bulls just completely turned it around and closed at the high of the day. 160 psychological resistance. We saw after hours action up in the 163s. It's just on an absolute tear. And fundamentally speaking, not only is it, you know, artificial intelligence that's really hot. Clearly the sector is hot here in the market. But it's the connection to the cryptocurrency space, in my opinion, because there is no real way to be playing that in the stock market. There's a couple different ways, but really, people that want exposure to cryptocurrencies from their brokerage account right now, this sector is the way to do it. So we all know the hype that's going on in the cryptocurrency space. Well, we're seeing a ton of hype in this sector as well. Weekly time frame has been on fire above the upper Bollinger Band 5 weeks in a row. Look at the volume behind this move. It's just been an absolute screaming bull for a very long time, and there is nothing showing us that that's going to change anytime soon. Checking in on Tesla, another one. Tesla and NVDA are the strongest bulls that I've seen in a very long time. And they're going hand in hand together. There's no correlation there, but they're just extremely strong. The bull volume in Tesla is enormous. The move to the upside, gap up open, little profit taking in the morning, and then the bulls turn it around and break 370. So psychological resistance from here, we're looking up at 375. If we can continue strong, we're above the upper Bollinger Band. The weekly upper Bollinger Band is turning into support. Look at the ramp up in volume. It's just these two charts, NVDA and Tesla, are textbook breakout blue sky bulls with money pouring into these names. Netflix on the daily time frame, also extremely strong. Not the kind of, you know, flashy moves that we're seeing in those other two names, but it's slow and steady, and the bulls are buying the dips and holding exponential support. So resistance is 166.82 and 166.87. We did get a new all-time high today, but only by 5 cents, so obviously that's not very convincing. The bulls will take it. Support is down at 164.41, and as long as we keep seeing these lower wicks, that's one thing that's standing out very clearly. None of these bulls are seeing closes near the low of the day, and obviously CMG is the weakest link here, but the bulls in the market are seeing buying of the dip and closing near the highs. We're not seeing closes near the low, and that shows us momentum into the following day. So watching to see if Netflix can keep up the all-time high path here. Upper Bollinger Band resistance is 166.47. We are currently rejecting from that level, so we'll see if the bulls are able to close over it by the end of the week. but we've seen a lot of back and forth with this upper Bollinger Band, so certainly not critical that the bulls get over that level. So CMG, we saw the weakness of lower highs and lower lows. We saw the clear break of 465 support, and now we're seeing continuation to the downside. Support is 457.02, 450 psychological, and then 445 where this previous support lines up. So the bears are in full control. We are oversold on the hourly. We saw an oversold bounce begin to play out on the hourly time frame today. We rejected from the 20-period hourly resistance and then pulled back down towards the lows. So that cooled off the hourly RSI a bit to allow the bears to continue keeping CMG contained. The weekly time frame losing exponential support. Bearish MACD cross, bearish TCG cross are closing in, and we are closing this week weak with an increase in bear volume. So the middle Bollinger Band on the weekly is going to be just under 450 next week. We'll be watching to see if this level holds for those bulls and watching to see if the bulls can turn this around, which as of right now, no signs of that happening. So I appreciate you watching. We'll check in over the weekend, and I hope you have a great night.